Oh, hey guys, it's me, Dax, back with the very first of the What's Your Problem answers. So these are a series of questions that have been posted in my community over at daxmoy.ning.com, where I've got over 10,500 people who are basically interested in finding out how they can kind of accomplish their, how do we say it, their greatest version of the grandest vision of what their lives could be, what their bodies could be, if they actually really and truly pursued everything the right way, right? If they actually did everything the right way and got their body into amazing shape. So I've put out a post that was called "What's Your Problem?" and the idea is you tell me what your problem is, and myself and my team will absolutely go through these problems and see what we can make of it. The first question here is from Julie Johnson. Julie says, "Hi Dax and your team, my problem is I'm 47 and everything just seems to take longer or have little or no result. I've been going to the gym 5 times a week, doing various classes, spending roughly 10 hours a week on exercising, Pilates, strength training, group power, group core, spinning. I've lost muscle tone and gained roughly 1.5 stone in the past year. For our kind of American friends, 1.5 stone is 21 pounds. Okay, so we're talking about kind of in the region of about 9.5 kilos. So basically, I've gained 1.5 stone in the past year, most of it in the last 6 months. I have an underactive thyroid, produce no testosterone, and because of my age, who knows what the rest of my hormones are doing. So energy is an issue. I have a very weak bladder, so cardio is an issue. I've now got a rotator cuff issue to my shoulder, and something that feels similar in my opposite hip, although I haven't seen the physio about that one yet. Good news is I haven't lost the enthusiasm to get fit and healthy. I just don't know where to start and what to do, and don't want to cause any more injury. Please help." Okay, Julie, you got kind of several issues going on there. Okay, obviously one of the kind of big ones that are really jumping out to me at the moment is obviously your thyroid, the thyroid issue. Thyroid is one of those really, I guess in some ways, really complex areas. Okay, it's a complex area because as soon as you change one hormone, you change the entire hormonal cascade. So there are any number of other things going on with your other hormonal elements at the moment, which can and do have a major impact upon your ability to both maintain or even lose your weight. Okay, so the thyroid is an issue, and it's one that I would really take care of with the utmost urgency. If you're working with me as my client, that will be the first thing that I look at. And so here's some things to consider. Weirdly enough, when you start to become thyroid deficient, when you end up with thyroid problems, there's a tendency to start piling on this weight, and because you're piling on the weight, you start to train harder and you do more and more training, right? One of the things that I would say here is that you may actually want to back off of your training just slightly. Train much shorter periods of training, so we're talking about 15 to 20 minutes up to twice a day. Okay, so do 15 to 20 minutes, work quite hard, stop. Later on, maybe work 15 to 20 minutes. But I would probably even back it all the way back to doing a single training session per day to begin with, and you can alternate between higher and lower intensity. Okay, so here's the thing. What we want to do is make sure that you're not stressing your adrenals. We want to make sure that you're not putting too much of a stress on your body that you can't possibly recover from. So let's just back off ever so slightly on the amount of training that you're going through, and make sure that your diet is extremely clean. Now remember, one of the things with well, any hormonal issue, in fact, is that there are tons and tons of background things going on. And one of the main things that we really have to take care of is that you have all of the available nutrients in order to build your hormones. Okay, and that sounds kind of obvious, but in some ways it's not. A lot of people kind of don't think of it in this way. You think of it as in terms of, if you want to make a hormone, what is that hormone made of? Okay, it's made up of nutrients, and specifically in this case, kind of certain types of proteins and micronutrients. So if you're not getting the chance to recover, if you're running your system down and your food quality isn't good enough, you may not be able to kind of let the builder's trucks turn up, so to speak, with all the raw materials to actually rebuild the hormones in the way they're supposed to be built. So one of the things that I would suggest is clearly, and I have a big bias here, but to make sure that you're extremely clean on the elimination diet. Okay, so get onto the elimination diet. No wheat, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, processed food, sugar, right? Kind of get yourself nice and clean for that 30 days. During that 30 days, make sure that your sleep is spot on. And I'm talking about a minimum of 5 to 6 nights a week of getting to sleep by 10:30 at the very, very latest. And again, this is because your hormonal system actually reasserts itself during your sleep. Okay, it's sleep that actually kind of tells which hormones should be on and which ones should be off. And if you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to find that it's going to be very, very difficult for you to kind of remodulate the thyroid. Likewise, testosterone kind of, I mean, I don't know, obviously I don't know the medical reason. You've just put down that you produce no testosterone. That's extremely rare, but obviously I'm not one to kind of disagree with you on that. I have no background in terms of what your doctor has told you about that kind of thing. But what I would say is that your thyroid will, your testosterone will drop extremely low as a result of other hormones being out of whack. Okay, so it's like this massive cascade. Okay, if one hormone shoots up too high, another one shoots down too low. When that one goes down too low, another one goes up too high, and so on. And so you change one hormone, you actually change the entire hormonal cascade. One of the ways in which you can actually help to re-regulate the correct pattern is to moderate your sleep, make sure your water intake is pretty decent. So we're talking about, you know, a one litre for every 50 pounds of body weight is a good place to be starting. Getting plenty of sleep, eating elimination diet style, and doing smaller and more smaller kind of regular exercise sessions as opposed to bigger, longer duration ones. And certainly those longer duration exercise sessions, if you're going to the gym for, you know, I would ditch things like the spinning, things like classes, for example. Most classes go on for far too long. Most classes are based around the idea of an hour. I would drop all of the hour length classes and get yourself to doing 10, 15, 20 minutes maximum of working intermittently from quite intensively to just quite low key, including things like a bit of yoga, a bit of tai chi, a bit of qigong, these kind of things that again will help to reset your reset the stress hormones so that your body isn't always being attacked. It could also well be, and you know, that you actually may even need something like a week to 10 days off of training altogether, and this is sometimes the case as well. Just we push so hard, we push, you know, we hit up against our sticking point, and we push so hard against the fact that we're currently stuck that we actually wear our bodies out. Okay, and it could well be the case that your body might actually just say, do you know what, I could do with a week off, just rest, just chill, right? But while you're resting, while you're chilling, make sure that your eating is very clean, you're getting plenty of sleep and drinking plenty of water. In terms of the injuries to your shoulders and so on, again, these are things that also can and do recover with rest. So, you know, it could well be, if your body is giving you jip, if your body's kind of telling you off a little bit around the shoulders and around the hips now, it could just well be that you are really pushing your body too hard in order to make weight. So look, I know that's a bit of a kind of around the houses kind of answer to what you've asked, but it's the best I can come up with, not knowing the absolute specifics of what's going on with you, and just based upon the experience that I've had with working with people similar to yourself that have had thyroid issues, that have had kind of issues with not being able to budge their weight. They'll often find that just doing a few of those things. If you were my client, I would probably tell you to take a week off training and then go into the training protocol that I just described of 1 to 2, 10, 15, 20-minute sessions, very maximum per day, and I think that would take care of it. So give that a go, Julie, and come back to me and let me know how you get on with that. But definitely take that week off, okay? Take care.